Hello, everyone. I'm going to give everyone an opportunity to come in and then I'll bring up my guests. Hello, 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 hello. I'm excited. You all know I love Elite 2.0 Day. If you are with us and you are tuning in, I'm giving everyone a chance to join in. I want you to share, like, comment. Listen, this is a day you don't want to miss, a topic, a powerful topic that we want to discuss that I don't want you to miss. I want you to like, comment, and share. I am now sharing in all of our groups. Connect with us, tune into this broadcast. Listen, we're talking about being stuck and how to get unstuck, especially as a leader. We definitely want to talk about ways to gain mental clarity while we're leading and how sometimes feeling stuck can keep us right where we started or keep us going in these bad negative cycles. And so I always, every day, every month, on the 20th of every month, I go live. Bring me a special guest to help me tackle different topics. So listen, I am in the comments. I can see you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you have questions or anything you want to ask, you can definitely type in the comments for us to see. And I'll definitely make sure that Miss Clara, who we're going to bring up, be able to share on those topics. But without further ado, let's do this. Let's bring up our guest, talk to her while you all are sharing this broadcast. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. What's going on, Miss Clara, Miss H? I love everything you're doing. Definitely wanted to connect, sis, and have you on the show, broadcast you and some of the amazing things you're doing. Oh my God, I'm in love. I'm looking at your background and I'm smiling from ear to ear. You know I love your character. And so I do want you to be able to officially introduce yourself and say what you do and share about you and about your company.
Okay, well, to everyone that does not know me, hello, I am Clara H. I am the owner, founder, and CEO of Clarity Candles, where I am in New Orleans, Louisiana. We make custom candles of any kind for just about anything that you can imagine. If you can imagine it, we can create it. We keep your home, your businesses, and your place, even your cars, filled with scent.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
My thing.
Definitely. I've had so many. I love the smells and I love the themes. Oh my goodness, around Valentine's Day, it'll put you in the mood, honey.
You were my very first online purchaser. I'll never forget it. You purchased I remember I was so excited about it. I was like, I got an online sale.
And listen,
never forget.
I love it. I love everything about it and what you stand for. Over the years, we met years ago through the City of Love at that time, Greater Antioch, after Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, Louisiana. And you've always been just a person. When I thought of this title, I thought of you. And it's just so funny because you named your company kind of after yourself. But listen, you get clarity when you meet clarity.
It's probably my favorite word in the dictionary. So it's
oh my God. You have definitely embodied that and it's never a sense you bring a sense of peace and calmness to any situation and your communication skills, how you carry yourself, the warmth. I just thought to myself, I've worked in different avenues, corporate ministry, faith-based, and all. And when you meet people, and certain people, you just remember your encounter with them. So I said, I cannot do this topic and not have you because it's what you do. It's your brand. When you think of clarity, you think of clarity. So that's an awesome thing. That's an awesome thing. So if you're tuning in, please share Like, feel free to come in. Listen, TV 2.0, then we talk and we have casual conversations. So we're going to laugh. We're going to just talk, catch up, and we're going to just really try to shed some light on some serious matters as it relates to the topic of being stuck and feeling stuck and ways you kind of maneuver out of that place. Excuse me, I'm not sure the people watching if you've ever been there before, but if you are doing anything positive in the world, if you are working, no matter what you're doing, you're going to face situations where you kind of just feel stuck. You can't pinpoint things. Sometimes I've been in situations, Clara, where I couldn't pinpoint how to get out. I just knew how I felt. I knew how the job was making me feel overwhelmed, or I was dealing with burnout. I knew how the duties that I said yes to, so many of them, how my plate just was filled, and how to get out. Last night, I did a mentorship workshop with a group of individuals on Zoom, and we talked about how to avoid burnout. And so this topic in itself, they're hand in hand. And so just taking care of yourself and things that you do. And so I was your first customers with the candles because that's one part of my self-care. I have to sometimes reset our like candles, just, get a new scent if I'm, just feeling anxiety, overwhelmed, just trying to create a place for me to work or do my motherly duties or whatever the case may be. So let's kind of get into our topic of being unstuck and ways to gain mental clarity while leading. What does this theme mean to you? When I brought this to you, when you read it about being unstuck and getting unstuck, what did that mean to you?
It was very personal for me, and it was personal for me because often at one point in my life, I was this person. I knew what my gift was, but I just hadn't figured out how to maneuver in it. And by gifting, I mean I operate in the gift of administration. My life is better when it's organized.
Yeah.
Mental clarity for me is when I'm unfocused, when I'm undisciplined, when I'm a simpler way to put it is when I'm simply off of my routines. Everyone has a life of routines, but when you understand your gift and you know what you need to operate successfully, for me, my mind, the only way to stay focused is to stay on task. And the only way to stay on task is I need to have habits, rituals, routines. I need that place of stability. That's kind of sort of where I actually have to be at in order to say, there's clarity in my mind. I need clear, concise communication often, always, and frequently. But I've definitely been in that place where you say, I've been stuck. And because at one point before I was the owner of Clarity Canvas, I still was the executive assistant to the city.
Did you say executive pastor?
No.
I'm just meddling.
I am the pastor of all of our ministries at the church. So it came with a lot of responsibilities. And so when you said always saying yes and just not knowing when to take that step back, this theme brought all of those thoughts rushing back to my memory.
Yeah. And so these are topics that you normally just in business workshops and things, everyone want to talk about how to make money. A lot of people want to talk about, just making it rain and money and financing. And being a business owner myself, and also, like I said, in ministry, having a lot of ads, I could get results. I'm a result type of person. So I've always been result driven, Clara. Just, okay, that's the goal. Here's the steps, administratively, I need to do to get there. The problem is maintaining piece, maintaining my sense of self, maintaining my mind, just maintaining my body, like what I'm eating, because I'm so results. I'm going, going, going. Now I'm just grabbing things to eat, and all these things would throw me to this stuck place,
Yeah,
this unfocused place, and people don't think, that play a major part in your cycle, but it does in
absolutely.
your success. And so if you're trying to achieve anything, you have to, this is foundational teaching,
Mhm.
ways to get unstuck, ways to get that mental clarity. I can just think about so many times just sitting at my desk and I'm just like, I can't do this. It's so much going on just right here in front of me. So being able to have a clear space, being able to have areas for a project, being able to have a calendar. If I could turn my screen around in the room that I'm sitting, I have a blackboard here. I
Mhm.
have, ways to, I have a television here with a timer. Listen, I have ways in creating environments where I, I have to thrive in. And
Mhm.
I can't just sit in this room and be stuck on one project for 8 hours,
Right.
and I had to learn ways to maneuver and to gain clarity. So, have there ever been times in your life, business, maybe professional career, where you just felt stuck? What kind of pushed you to that point?
Absolutely saying yes to everything. Trying to do
And yes, to
everything. And when I say that, meaning because, again, my career can be demanding at times. And then starting a brand new business, child
mm,
in college,
yeah,
another child that's moved out, brand new grandbaby, still trying to find girl time, me time, significant others, all of those things, trying to do everything. And so what I found myself doing was starting a bunch of little things and not
yeah,
finishing anything.
that's it right there.
And then when I look around one day, now I have a bunch of
Little bit.
unfulfilled, half done projects. I'm like overwhelmed. Like I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah.
A bunch of just things that just look like they become little bricks in my mind. So
Mhm.
now my sleep pattern is off
Yeah.
because I'm waking up thinking, "Oh shucks, did I put that on Bishop calendar?
Right.
Oil in that candle that I made the other day? I don't even remember if I finished all of the steps, and so I'm stuck because now I don't know which block to pick up to start back building again. I don't know
Yes.
how to get back on task again because I've started all these things, but I finished none. So I've definitely been there. Um, and so for me, I just needed to knock all the bricks down. I
Mm.
sleep, whatever. And so journaling,
Mm.
my candles definitely. Um, and exercise because your diet feeds it feeds your soul, right? So what you put in the inside of your temple, if I know when I'm off, when I'm sluggish, when I've had too much chocolate, too much ice cream, it happens to everyone. But then you just have to take that step back and press the restart button, press the restart button, and start all over again to help get yourself
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. And oh my God, you hit on a whole lot of different things. Just that saying yes to everything. And here's the thing: some of the things you list on that list can be top priority things. Like you said, your spouse, yourself, you mentioned the calendar part, which is your job. You know, um, here's the thing: when you're a high capacity person, your list is literally a high capacity list.
Yeah,
So it's so hard to say no to anything on the list, but not necessarily saying no to it. However, structuring it
yeah,
where you can have that synergy and that flow within your day. And so
yeah,
it's different from someone that's not high capacity. They go to a 9 to 5, get off work. My time after I cook dinner, it's my time. Sometimes for me, after I cook dinner, it's literally not my time. it's my church's time because I'm a pastor's wife, you know? And so now I'm out the door and I'm hugging and I'm praying for someone or I'm giving them time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not that simple when you are what I call high performance and a high capacity person. You know, like you said, you know, that space it becomes for you to give again. So some of the things that I have to do to gain the mental clarity and to get unstuck for myself when I do get a little stuffy is I have to plan that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed sometimes I would get so grumpy, Clara, when I couldn't plan maybe that whole day off.
Mm-hmm.
I would get like, well, if I can't have the day, okay, here's the attitude, then I'm going to just whatever. And when I could have had 5 hours,
Mm-hmm.
you understand, of maybe
I'm with you.
nap,
Trust me, I'm with you.
maybe this, maybe that, and not be so stubborn. See, that stubbornness is another thing that'll get you stuck because
Absolutely.
it stop you from seeing the positive. It stop you from seeing the time you do have.
Mm-hmm.
You just get stuck. And so, you know, what you said, it's so good. How about what are some things that keep you off focus and out of balance? You mentioned, you know, the things that do. I'm talking about how, for me, it's stubbornness. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'll get stubborn and then I'm really off focus then because I'm like, well, I don't have enough time anyway, so I might as well stay here versus leaving for the 3 hour.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know,
For
so for
me,
me, it's the stubbornness.
you're stubborn and I'm an overthinker. Overthinking will
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
take me to just, yeah. Overthinking does it for me. Because
Mm,
I'm thinking, could I do or could I have done? And so now 2 hours have passed and I'm sitting here, I'm overthinking what I could have
and
just
the
done.
time has went by.
Back 6 completed it. But oh my God. Overthinking will distract your thoughts. And when you begin to distract your thoughts, you begin to doubt yourself. And so when you doubt
Mm,
yourself, you lose your confidence. No
yeah,
confidence in yourself, no completion of the task that's ahead
past.
of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like you said, for you, it's stubborn. For me, oh, definitely overthinking.
Overthinking.
Definitely
Wow.
overthinking.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many times we'll cycle things in our thoughts? Or, you know, and sometimes overthinking can actually be in a category of time wasting. You
Yeah.
know, you're sitting there and you've wasted, you know, those 3 hours
Come on.
thinking shoulda, coulda, woulda. Then by the time you decide, then you're in regret because it could have been better. You know, so I do that a lot too,
Yeah.
and so that's something I work on very hard. You know, and so to get that clarity I need, I literally have to say, this is a decision, accept and move on. You know, and so
And if you mess it up, go back and start all over again.
it's all good. You
That's it.
know, you know, getting that balance back. Um, I believe that having that mental clarity is important, and mental clarity is just, you know, being able to see and hear and think clearly so you can really do whatever it is, your project, your work, motherhood, you know, fatherhood, or balancing them all. And so I feel like it is very top of the list because not being able to be clear all over the place, it shows.
Absolutely.
It shows. It definitely shows. It shows in our behavior. It shows how we communicate when something's communicated to us, how we communicate back. It
Yeah.
shows in a presentation, you know. I mean, just not having things together. Um, it shows. It shows. And so, what are some ways you've gained clarity while working with others? So, you know, sometimes you're in someone else's world, so you're not in control of the organization of it. You know, how do you maneuver with it when you're dealing with another person?
Communication for me. I am big on communication. I have no problem with asking you questions, anyone for that matter. And if I don't understand, I will ask you for clarity.
Yeah.
I need to know what are the goals, what is the assignment, what is the intention of it, what are the outcomes that we're looking to do, so that we can know what the end result should be together. Because, like you said, sometimes I'm the leader, but a great leader is also a great follower. I'm very submitted to my leadership,
Yeah.
and no matter who that leader is, but whenever something is said or a task is given or um, there's a presentation that needs to be conducted, I'm going to ask the who, what, when, where, how, however many times I need to, until I can have some understanding of it. Because if I don't understand, let me just be very transparent. I've
Yeah.
made the mistake, Sheika, of saying yes without having the clarity.
Oh yeah.
And so then I walk away and I've said yes to Sheikah or whomever, but I don't have a clue of what I'm supposed to be doing. And if you're my leader, you have said, okay, Clara has it, and it's out of your head, it's out of your mind. It's like, that's what my pastor is. It's like once he's communicated it, and once you say yes, sir,
Mm-hmm.
it's out of him at that moment. So now it's up to me to figure it out. But I waste a lot of time because now I need to go back where he's moved on and into the next thing of saying, can you explain this to me again? What was I supposed to do there? I may have missed something. So now I'm losing valuable time I could have done, doing something else by by being stuck. And I was stuck because I didn't ask the necessary questions and I didn't communicate properly to
Yeah.
begin with.
Yes. I like that. I like the fact that you pointed out. And so for all of our viewers who's watching, I'm just going to restate it. When you're in a situation where you're working with someone else, being able to have that clear communication, and that means asking who, what, when, where, how, and sometimes maybe why. What is the ultimate goal here, the purpose of us doing this, so I can be all in.
Yeah.
For me, sometimes the why is very important for me to connect the who, what, when, where. And to some people, that is like, well, if you're with me, you don't need to know the why. For me, I'm an all in kind of girl. So
Mm.
when I'm brought on the why and I can connect it, then the rest, when you say who, what, when, where, I'm running, I'm doing, I'm an action person. I
Right.
have to connect to my purpose and see it. And
Right.
so, for me to get that clarity, and to also, sometimes our job is to create clarity for others.
Mm-hmm.
So while we are doing that, and it's trickled down, and we have these projects or we're working on things, and we have to create this environment for other people, once I understand what I'm doing, I can make it clear and clearly communicate what's about to happen for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's for me, it's easier to do that working with someone versus just working alone.
Right, right, right.
Because with yourself, you have to deal with yourself. You have to answer who, what, when, where, how, and why. You can't shift that responsibility to someone else. You know how you have this bright
Yeah,
idea?
right.
Yeah, many times I've had bright ideas, and so I'm sitting there like, so what's the why behind this? Why are you about to do this? Why did you write the check, for, and you really haven't thought that through to be able to gain the clarity. Now you're overwhelmed. Now
Right.
you're sitting here in regret. Now you're doubting yourself and you're not as confident, because that's another piece to the mental clarity. When you have clarity and you're clear, you're confident, and
Absolutely.
you can maneuver. You feel confident. That confidence is very important when you're on a team, no matter what part of the leadership role you're in. That confidence is key. And without clarity, I've hidden before because I didn't have clarity. I'm like, I should have asked. I should have it. You just get into this
What?
self doubt in a cycle. And so, the
Yeah.
parts that you talked about with asking those questions and creating that, you know, that space to communicate, especially when you're dealing with someone else. Um,
Yeah.
having that transparent conversation when you are connected to someone and you're working with someone um, can help the relationship. It
Absolutely.
can help the relationship.
Absolutely.
And it builds confidence in them, especially if they're entrusting you to do something. If you say, wait, I just need a little clarity on this. Do you mean brown or do you mean light brown?
Absolutely.
It
Yes.
can be that simple.
I've learned that there's so many shades of blue working for the city of love.
Oh my goodness. Listen, honey, my color is teal and I just
See?
my color is teal here and I had an employee, she brought turquoise. Well, that's not teal. You know, she's like, that's not, that's all of it. No, 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 no. That's different shade. You know, so you're right. That clarity, it stops disappointment. It
Yeah.
stops
Oh, that's good. Clarity.
it stops all of that because once you give what you need to communicate and you have this expectation.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that's happening in my mind and what you receive and perceive is totally different.
Mm-hmm.
It can be totally different. So how we're going to make that connection? Who is responsible for communicating that? Both parties.
Absolutely.
Oh, you know, I'm pretty sure there's times where your person, your leader, shared those details, and there's sometimes when he just assumed you understood the details, or you're going to create the details, and then you say, "Wait, I just want to make sure the details I'm creating is something that you see your expectations, and you know." And so creating those environments is key. Like I said last night, I taught about avoiding burnout. And
Mm-hmm.
so I realized the lesson that we're talking about now, the topic is if you don't practice these strategies that we're discussing, you are on a brink of burnout. You're going to burn out faster because once you get discouraged, once you get disappointed, you put disappointment on top of that. You begin to start feeling like this can't be done. And so every day trying to achieve the impossible that's in your mind creates this lack of fire. And you know, it just go out. And so then you start trying to achieve something that you really don't technically feel like you can accomplish.
Yeah.
You know, and so this mental clarity piece and people really getting it and taking that communication tips that you talked about, it's really, really key. It's really key. So, what are some signs to you that a person could be struggling, like they're stuck or they're headed towards burnout? You know, as someone may rewatch this video and they may be in a small business, have a career, and being a mom or father, you know, what are some signs when you see yourself headed into this direction? You know that, hey, I'm heading down the wrong path. I need to kind of reset myself.
The first thing that I would say is do a self assessment. Ask yourself, when was the last time you said no?
Mhm.
Um, I, I remember reading Shonda Rhimes' book, The Year of Yes. And so we did a whole thing where we did yes at the city of
Mhm.
a year. And it was great. It really was great. However, could you live your life saying yes to everything? I look at some people, especially in ministry, um,
Mhm.
join, their zeal is there, their confidence is there. And so they join the usher board, the choirs, the pastoral assistants. And here's the thing, they're showing up to everything, right?
Yeah, the zeal.
In my mind, I don't want to look at you and speak negative, but I know that burnout is coming soon because you can only be so much to, you can only be everything to everyone for such a period.
Right.
None of us are Jesus, right? So when I see those individuals now, even as pastors of ministries, I may want to talk to you and say, let's try two. Let's try two ministries. um, and get you acclimated. And let's see, because if you're working 8 to 12 hours a day, and then you're in church meetings another, 2 to 3 hours every day, and then you still need to cook, you have a family, eventually your body will suffer. Um, I
Mm,
saw a meme on social media one day that said, "Away with normalizing overwork." I mean, overworking. I believe in
right.
work. I, I definitely believe in hard work, but I believe in smart working. If
Yes.
you're smart, then you won't overwork yourself. Because people that overwork themselves, Sheikah, don't take time for themselves. And self care is vital. You know, when you're always saying, I'm burning a candle at both ends, we see those individuals all the time. Yeah, I've been up at 4 in the morning and I didn't go to bed until 2 in the morning. How long do you think your body was not designed to live like that? So if you are those there are individuals out there and you say, I'm doing everything. I'm doing girls,
Right.
I'm
Right.
cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm mamaing, I'm wifing, I'm being a husband, I'm pastoring, whatever it is, or I'm selling cars for 12 hours out the day. You're giving everything to everyone else and there's no time for yourself. Burnout is on its way to you. It's
Yeah.
inevitable that unfortunately that it is. If you're someone that can look around and say, I haven't completed anything that I set out to do this week.
Right.
Even if it's washing clothes, even if it's folding the clothes. I know y'all probably like me. I don't mind washing the clothes, not folding up the clothes.
Don't have me tickled or live.
You know, business, but I feel like there's somebody out there that have like two loads of
Come on, come on.
wash and ain't been folded. Nah, but I mean, you know, you look back and you say, listen, there are a bunch of things that you know you need to complete, but you haven't figured out how to complete any of them. That's a telltale sign that you're definitely stuck and that you just may need to, you know, find a way to press that reset button. It's just
Mhm.
it's there. And you know that you need to, you know you want to, you just don't know how to.
Yeah. That reset button, and that's how I want to top this off. Really giving that strategy when you're getting there, how
Mhm,
to reset. And for me, I can remember going through as with the pandemic coming out and getting back into the workforce.
mhm.
I took off Clara for a year, and I was pregnant. I had my baby during the pandemic. So when I said I took off, I literally my companies were still running, but I was home.
Mhm,
Um, so getting back, it
mhm,
was kind of like, you know, you just even coming to the office.
mhm.
And so at first, I set up a home office. I've never been a home office kind of girl because I would get easily distracted at home. And so I always officed away, had a private office away.
Mhm.
I set up a home office and I started learning how to reset. Like sometimes I would take my entire office and have to do it outside,
Yeah, yeah. Listen,
literally,
so that
because I felt like I was inside so much. I would just need the fresh air. And so then I started implementing small walks.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What?
Come on, girl. I'm telling you.
Listen, we
Um,
were on Zoom every day, sometimes 2 and 3 hours for a day. And at first it was all good because pre-pandemic we did a lot of work from home. And then I had a home office. So then I got here. But you know, after a while, and I was like, these walls is
yeah, closing in.
and you know, so then I had to be creative. I started taking Zoom outside on the patio, and
Mhm.
you know, and going like you said, walking in my neighborhood, and just reinventing my mind at that point
Yeah,
because you have to.
you have to. And so that's some things I did to reset those walks. I would time it and just take that walk. I would also like the candles, just a different smell. With just, I love the eucalyptus peppermint, clean smells always help me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the exercising will
Mm-hmm.
always reset me. I'm an elliptical girl, so I will get on there for 45
Me
minutes and
too.
just go to town. Just everything it's got to come out. I'm leaving it right here on this elliptical. And that would help me reset. Take my shower, I'm ready for the rest of my day. Sometimes a nap. Bishop Love taught that concept. It's a 15-minute nap. Train your mind, train your body,
I get that.
and then reset after your nap. You're ready for the second half of your day.
Mm-hmm.
So bringing in principles like that always helped me. And so, did you want to leave with anything you wanted to say? Just any tips, anything you could think of?
I think that you covered them, like you said. Definitely take time, and I know that self care has been a big thing. It is so important. Self care helps you gain mental clarity. Find out what your niche is. If it's journaling, there are times that I just like to write my thoughts out, write how I'm feeling out, write. If I feel like I'm stuck in an area, I may write down. I feel where I'm not certain on how I'm going to complete this to get 10 cents, the next 10 fragrance
Right.
out in my mind. I may write that down, and then little things start coming back to me, and I felt
Yeah.
I can connect
That's
the dots
good.
with it. You see what I'm saying? So that's the reason why writing for me is it's great. I know that it is because a lot of times I'll even if I don't have pen and paper, a lot of times I do. 90% of the times I do. If I'm at the store or something and a thought comes to me, I'll jot a note down in my telephone and I'll come
Yeah.
back down and I'll write it down because it'll help me to have clarity to where something I was stuck in earlier. Sometimes I get up and I just meditate. I'll light a candle
Yeah.
and I'll just sit in the dark in stillness,
Yeah.
and you will be amazed by just allowing yourself to be open of what can be downloaded into you when you're still, when you're calm, when you're at peace.
Right.
It just kind of sort of overwhelms you and takes over your day.
Yeah.
And I'm like you, Sheika, I am definitely an ellipticals girl. I know some of y'all don't like the cardio girls, but I am her.
I have to get it. I
Close my
can't work
eyes
out without it.
one piece, and I'm just going from
I
one
can't do it.
so
Yeah.
that kind of sort of like it helps me. I do believe that clarity, mental clarity, it definitely helps us to stay focused.
Yeah.
Focus, I'll say it again, you're confident. When you're confident, you believe that you can conquer the world.
Yes. And so I want to say thank you to our audience. Listen, Clara is very, very sweet and humble. She did not say much about her candles, but if you look behind her, before we tune out, she have a beautiful website where you can order these, and you can order anywhere in the world, and it will ship to you. Clara, could you give everyone your website? And I'm going to put it also in the chat.
Sure, it is www.clarity, candles.com. And just as a special gift for you all today, if you enter Clarity at the code checkout, CLARITY, when you check out, you will receive 20% off.
Whoa!
Right.
Hello, Elite 2.0.
Yeah.
Listen, if you purchase a candle, you hear it. You enter the code Clarity, you'll save 20% off. I'm putting it in the comments. I want you all to see that, receive it. Thank you so much, Clara.
You
Please, if you are rewatching this, if you're rewatching this episode, you definitely can slow it down. Make sure you go on our YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook, you can definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. And thank you so much, Clara, for being a guest.
Thank you.
Thank you. Listen, I have a book. Chapter 3 is all about mental clarity. Mental clarity. My book is named Pioneer 7 Leadership Essentials for Modern for Innovative Leaders. Listen, I want you to purchase this book. This book has an entire chapter that is special for mental clarity that's going to give you tips, tools, and techniques. You can order your book at www.eliterevive.com. You can also receive an ebook and download it today, or you can get a hard copy and we will mail it. Thank you all so much for tuning into Elite 2.0, getting unstuck and gaining mental clarity. You have a wonderful day. Thank you.